This sakTijJ is like fashioned a lot of the martial arts I've studied through my life, and a lot of it is centered around kendo, in the iaido, the sword drawing, like the samurai, and even the movements are sort of like that. So you like the sweat?
Yeah.
I think that was a good one in the years, man.
Rolling. Camera rolling.
You want some of this, or should I clip it?
Should I free this away for now and so give you space to move around?
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you stand with your feet together, and as though it's closed where you could put another foot inside there. And then you bring it apart, shoulder width, and as though you're sitting in the chair, but you're not sitting in the chair, but your whole body is straight, and you're on the balls of your feet. The heel is like a hairline off the ground. You can just put one of your hairs between, that's how much you should be off. And you put all your energy here. Your back is straight, as though you put a piece of wood in here, and it should come right through your ass. So it's tucking in. And then stretching, then you bring your face straight, the spine, the back of your head, and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and you imagine that you have a ball, a big ball, and then you can start moving energy. But these are blocks. These are like as though you're swimming and you're blocking. You're pushing, you're blocking, blocking, you're blocking, you're pushing, punching, 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 punching. But all the time the body is as though you still got that ball in your hand. And then it's like so you create the sakTijJ. sakTijJ. You dance, DJ, sakTijJ, sakTijJ, sakTijJ. Then you move your feet like DJ, and you move however you want to move. DJ, sakTijJ. So you have to put energy in there. That's why I was talking about the color coding, the resistance in the body, the electricity. So you want to be sakTijJ, sakTijJ. So, but then you start jumping, DJ, and you put your hands up like this, and you're jumping, and you could just move forward, depending on how many people there is. You don't want to, if it's yourself, you can move around. And then you want to be able to drop. Let me see that chair there for a second. You want to be able to drop as though you're sitting in a chair. But why is this foot is up? You run this foot, and then your hands are up in the air, and you dance on one foot in that same position. So it's about getting in shape. And then, you get up, and you could do like a roundhouse kick. So basically, a roundhouse kick is when you use a instep of your foot.
I remember my roundhouse.
To slap somebody in their face.
Roundhouse kick, right?
Yeah. And then you have a mawashigiri, which is also a roundhouse kick, where you bring this foot up.
Which foot?
Okay. So you bring this foot up, and you swing it around, kick it around.
Oh, this kind of roundhouse.
So the ball of the feet, so you wanted to hit the temple of that person, so you kick. But when you move, you flick this foot and you push the hip. So that's just a. So you retreat as faster than you hit. That's you see, when it's like so quick,
Like a whip.
then it pulsates their brains. But when you hit, it's just a solid, I could come back. Because you hit my head, but you didn't really hit that point. So it's so sakTijJ is about getting to that point, that star. And you be creative, you use your hands, so everything is a block. But it's also how. So you flick the wrist. That's what's flicking. So the mind is flinty, like a flint. You light, and you want to be as busy as those flies. So you create that opening. Whatever you want in life is you create the opening through prayer, chanting, consistency. Just stand up by yourself and dance. Don't say nothing. The words will come. If you know sakTijJ, so when you go off like that, that's when the spirit is catching you. Uma anda gorima, Parvati am sakTijJ, sakTijJ, But all those are this. You're blocking. When you move your hands, you're blocking things away. So really, what you're doing, you're destroying the weapons. So you destroy the weapons and you mess the mind up. Because you're destroying those weapons in such a way that they can't withstand the pain and the speed that it's coming at. So you can hit a person one time and you get more effect than hitting somebody 10 times. So that's how you have to put that energy in, how you want it. So the mind is as strong as the body. But the body is only as strong as the mind. So training yourself. So you get up on your the ball of your feet and you stretch yourself. Like that bird, how the star stretches. So there's no boundaries. But the thing is that where is your core? So the core is in practice. Hard in battle. Hard in training, easy in battle. So if somebody asks you to sweep this house, it should be swept. Boom. Before you know it, man, I didn't even realize you were moving around here with a broom. So basically, sakTijJ is about dusting yourself off. Because there's a lot of shit coming at you 10 knots an hour. And whether you realize it or not, you process that movement. So then what you want to do is when you dance is you stress, you stretch the waist, stay on the ball of your feet, stretch the waist, calm the mind, sink the chi, and concentrate and let the mind sit on itself, relax. And then you could do all kinds of moves. Push it away, sweep it up, slap your ass, slap you, bye, stay away from me. Easy, 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 so I need someone who can do this with their feet and their hands together. I can't do it anymore. But it would give me great pleasure to see a lot of people doing it because it's one of the, I've been going to the gym now for years and I'm like saying, you know what, I can't pump iron anymore, I'm too old. And then I realized you could have that same power, that same energy in your movements. And you don't have to lift any weights. Because when you do this, it's your body weight, you're carrying your body weight with you. It's all equal. The mind and the body. So you want to become one. So you use all the parts of your body that could be a weapon. This, if you know how to chop, you can knock somebody out with one chop, boom, quick. But you gotta have that. And even that I can't do anymore because if I was going to battle with somebody, only will would make me survive, but physically I can't. So it would have to be very quick to knock that person out with one punch. But the thing is, can I take the licking? Am I willing to take the licking? Is it worth it? What do I have to prove? Because you're gonna lick me with the same thing I'm teaching you anyway. Because it's not so much respect as honor. So the minute you do, you hold a weapon like that, right away is respect. These ways. I kind of miss practicing kendo too, and martial arts and stuff like that, and I miss reading books. And at one time I was prejudiced about the instruments and dance and song, and now look at where I'm at because I overcame all those prejudices of this world and this art. So now it's my time to share what I know, so I can learn from you guys what I don't know. Because now I gotta understand now how the body, the younger mind thinks. They don't think like us. It's just not the old school way of dancing. But you put that energy in your lower waist, like 2 inches below the belly button. There's a point, and then you could take the finger and you get the third eye, and you can really put that healing power in that person. Just let it go. But those are things that you can learn about how this body, how to heal this body in sakTijJ. Rub your hands on those 2 buttons right there in the back of your rub it, and then there's a third in the center, and then above it there's 2. So there's 5 buttons to press, and it will trap all the outside energy, because the minute you start to work, you start to work on the upper body, but no work on the lower body. Because you relieve pain faster than if you work on the upper body. So look at it this way: when you take a challenge, I'm going to destroy your midsection. Because once you start playing with the midsection, it's in the mind, the first mind. So there's no more neurological shit going on here than there is up here. But up here don't want to die. So when you don't do the right things, it punishes you. It gives you all kinds of illnesses and diseases. But you're going to work it out. Stay on top of it. You can't cure it, but stay on top of it. And move, keep moving. Keep the mind moving. Because once you stop thinking, then you're in trouble. It's hard to start up again. But stay on the course of a thought that you always had. Work sakTijJ, the course sakTijJ, 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 sakTijJ. So you build up that stamina, and then what you do is you could pick this foot up, and you could do something like a side kick. So you kick with this part of the body on the side kick. But then you have the front kick, which I find is very devastating, because if you can execute a double maigiri like instantly, and you hit them the ball of your feet, this ball. So it means you got to stretch where the ball of your feet. Or if you can move to the side, if you can step to the side and slap them with the instep on the solar plexus. Because your objective is to stop them from breathing. So you want to kill them as painless as possible, like instantaneously. So it's not about beating yourself up. But if you train real hard, and then in battle, you don't have to go through all that fuss. all your nervousness was worked out in the training. But it's not the teacher, it's you. Because you can't be like the teacher can teach you anything more than if you could copy the teacher. If you can photocopy the teacher and record audio and visual of the memory, then you have your video camera right there. You don't need really a video camera because you could transmit this sakTijJ by mood, sound, and dance. So it's about also putting your leg crossed like this and sitting, as well like just sitting down, but you're dancing on one foot and moving forward. And at the same time, you have a fan in your hand and a harmonica. And you learn to use that fan as though you're going to use your hand. You're snapping it away. You're snapping it away. You're knocking it away. Boom. So you want to chop quick, really like a pump that wasn't see you coming. So that's how the energy on the sakTijJ is. You want to put that energy in here. So when you talk, when you speak to people, then they realize, oh, hey man, this is serious business, but interesting. A little too disciplined for me. But if I was disciplined, I wouldn't be as messed up as I am right now. But if you really want anything in life, it's discipline. Even being a drug addict or alcoholic is being disciplined. So you could take it or leave it. But what it could save you too is you keep doing everything you want to do, but keep training. And then sooner or later it's going to catch up with you and say, well, wait a minute, I need to harness in on this energy here for a little bit. So you slip off the wagon for 2-3 years and you get back on. It's harder to come back. But if you stay with it, even in your episodes, you stay with it. So that's what I did in my life, even with my drug and alcohol episodes. I still stayed with some form of training. And now I'm starting to understand the teachings from various teachers or dojos, but not only that, from students too. But it's like moving. So it's blocking, you snap, you can grab, you could hit at the same time, you could do all kinds of things. You know, and you block, then you use your foot up, you bring it up, you block with your knees. You know, and then there's a lot of things that you can do. You can do like low kicks, and you keep that person, but you must see them moving. So you must look not so directly at them, but also look if they're moving. So you want, how could you make them stay still for you to hit a moving target? So they move, you move. They wait, you wait. They attack, you attack. So that's how quick it is. And us, don't rest too much. Because when you rest too much, you lose that spark. So keep moving. I see her long black hair, ugly in me. I see her sparkling eye. You can do things like Her eyes, I see her sparkling eye. I hear her ankle bell tickling. I see her naughty smile. So the dancer on these moves, the choreograph those habits in the Shakti dance or the Vaheguru dance, because it's a relation that you moving at all those sound and vibrations through the body, and the body is reacting. But then you have you get on those wavelengths where you can like really move precisely, because the medicine is a precise instrument. But if your consciousness is attuned to the consciousness of this medicine, the song, the dance, then it will answer all the questions that you have in your dance. So the teacher doesn't mean anything. You just saw him do something and you started doing that, and then as you get better, things evolve. And then you start to make a frame for yourself. But don't get stuck in one frame. We have a loose frame that the rays of the sun, and you move your hands up and down, up and down, and then you take a lot of stress off your shoulders. Like I said, try to put all the pain right here. So then people don't attack you massaging your shoulders and your feet, because the problem is right here. So the spine, the base of the spine. And then, like for me, I have a fractured spine, but then I say, well, now I gotta learn to work with it. So I'm working with it. Well, psychologically, is not good for me, because then it messed my ego up a little bit. So now I'm overcoming that by doing what I'm doing. But there's a lot of stories to go with this. So with these songs. So when I was a kid, my mom wrote a song by Radha, and what it was is my uncle, his name is Radha, and her husband, his wife, and my mom and dad were good friends. But then there was some sort of a spiritual romance going on. So she wrote the song, I See You Alone. So I put into my imagination that she was swinging in the back of our yard under this mango tree. And this man was looking down through this colonial artwork into the yard. But I could remember, so this moon shone, you would glimmer. So my mom had this long black hair, and she used to wear this ankle with a bell on it. So every time she swings, it would make those sounds, and she wrote it. And I learned it, but I forgot a good part of it. But the little bit of it that I learned, was able to put a story to it. Because as teenagers, we started to figure it out. We said, wait a minute. And then we understood, because my youngest sister name is Radha. So we thought the poem was written to Radha. So like about 20 years ago, I saw Radha and I said, my gosh, it's the song. And that's how I created the song. So it's also a dance. If you get two sticks and you make sound with the sticks and you sing the song by Radha. See your sparkling eye, I hear your ankle bells at the curtain, see your naughty smile, Radha is calling to me. Your long black hair, I look and in, I see your sparkling eye. I had your ankle bell, a tickling, I see your naughty smile. My radar is calling to me as she swings near the mango tree. Oh, Radha, my love, I will come to thee. Oh, Radha, my love, I will come to thee. I see your long black hair, ugly and mean. I see your sparkling eye. I hear your ankle bells at the tickling. I see your naughty smile. My Radha is calling to me as she swings in the mango tree. Oh, Radha, my love, I will come to thee. Oh, Radha, my love, I will come to thee. See your long black hair, ugly and mean. I see your sparkling eye. I hear your ankle bells at the tickling. I see your naughty smile. My Radha is calling to me as she swings in the mango tree. Oh, Radha, my love, I will come to thee. Oh, Radha, my love, I will come to thee. See your long black hair, ugly and mean. I see your sparkling eye. I hear your ankle bells a tickling. I see your naughty smile. My Radha is calling to me as she swings near the mango tree. Oh, Radha, my love, I will come to thee. Oh, Radha, my love, I will come to thee. Well, Krishna feels this way when you think of all the romance. Oh, my Radha, my love, I'll come to thee. As I take her in my arms, she strikes me with her charm. As my divine Radha calls me away. But I never figured out who really is singing that song. Because there's only two names mentioned in that song is Radha, my Radha, and Lord Krishna. But it was an interesting story. My mom, she was a writer. She wrote a lot of plays and books. Some never were published, you know. There's no hope in that happening, but through these songs, it is hope, because it's your imagination of the song. And then another one, beside the Shakti, Wahi Guru. Why Guru? Why Guru? Why a teacher? Why you need a teacher? It's to remove that ignorance from you. Because you small, you say, Wahi Guru. But you still keep that power on the ball of your feet and the waist. You move from the waist down and the waist up. And you could twist whatever objects that you have in your hand, the baton, the weapon. You know, you could do a lot of things with it. You know, help. You know, cast away thing. You know, at some point, you could catch a bullet without any experience or training. But when that time comes, so a matter of survival, a matter of life and death. So you create this easy. But the foot is still, you're still on the ball, and you could fall into something they call the sanchin, where you block your lower extremes. But the way you stand, but you're still on the ball, you move like this bird, this chicken on this. and you want to start digging, dig your shit up, dig it up, and scoop it up, push it away. So that's the only way. Namah Shiva, Namah Shivaya, Namah Pi, Om sakTijJ, and there's all sorts of stances you can move in the tea stands and the chicken stands, eagle stands, how you stand, how you dance on one leg and use that one leg and that defense and offense, and you don't have that offense or defense because you're precise, you know you move with that energy and you're fast because it's timing. Time yourself, pace yourself. Don't try to get over there tonight when you're supposed to be there tomorrow. Pace yourself. If you're gonna 13-hour flight, pace yourself. 13 hours, oh shit. But it's good food for thought. Then you get to observe the decay of the mind and the body together because you just put. So either you're gonna sleep it off or you're gonna stay awake. And then you're gonna start, things are gonna start telling you how many times you gotta go to the bathroom, how many times you get the urge to smoke a cigarette, how many times you know, then you start to realize how messed up you are. Because you have to stay put. So you get cabin fever. But cabin fever is good for you too. Because you start to realize how uptight you are. Because but you figure if I go here, you go there is an escape. It is an escape, sort of. But sometimes you need to get out of your comfort zone. You know, once you start getting out of your comfort zone, you start to realize that there's a lot more going on around out there. So, but I can't travel like you young guys. So you can travel, and when you come back, you bring all that intelligence to me. Because I allow you to share, I allow you to sing, show what you learn. So then I hear a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person, of the same dialogue, and I start to put it together, but not right away. Because you start to hear them sing, you start to travel with the song. You don't need no drugs or nothing like that to travel. Just but these when I went to school, they used to have these two pieces of wood, and they used to be moving, and they would clap it one time, and it means we gotta move back. Tap it 2 times, we gotta move back. We gotta do fast and precise. So you never know when to say flower. So they trap you, they trick you. But it is how balanced you are. In other words, it's all timing. You know, and I look back on that sound when I heard these two sticks, and I started to remember there were these things an inches to it on 26th Street, Manhattan. And the sensei would crack these two woods. And when I saw him do that, that was my investment to become a master. And then when I thought I became a master, I realized I'm just a tenderfoot. And I'm happy with that. But it's communication. How do we want to communicate with each other? In a good way or a bad way, is this one way, is the same way. Communicate your way. People will understand you better. Well, when I was a kid, I shied away from the art world. I don't know why. Dance world, the music world, instrument world. Like that just sort of faded from my life because I've done all my brothers and sisters started to shine, my cousins, my friends, and like, wow, the guitar, the piano, the violin, the songs, the singing. I was like, wow. But meanwhile, I was doing more like physical training, and I was like, I always wanted to be a cop, and I ended up being a soldier. And I went up to be a soldier, and by the time I got out, I wanted to be a soldier of fortune. And it happened just at the right time that I exited the military, and to this day I don't regret anything that I learned from them, because even the PT exercises with the weapons is all the sakTijJ. And how you walk or run with your weapon. You know, and then all those dancing on 1 feet and stuff like that. And then when we were kids, we used to take these cans and we used to stomp it. Our heels in, I used to lock it on the heels, and we used to run and make sound. So, you know, but just be flexible like that bow and arrow. Because when you stretch it, you stretch the body. You know, and you get that. So you're sending that energy to that target, and you want to hit it bullseye. So that's how precise you have to get. But you got to be able to do that towards a moving target. If the target is moving, you got to be able to be. And if you have to move too, so maybe you have to execute your movement in flight. So you want to do that because, you know, like, look at it this way, there are other entities that wants to live, like the virus, for example. But, so if we keep our guards up, so the idea is to starve it to death. But the minute you lift the gates, it's going to eat you out. But the virus in itself is not bad. It's just another organism like we are. It's like a lion or a tiger or a snake. They're all venomous. So how you don't let it eat you out, and to be cautious, to be conscious. need to do to survive, I'll do it. Because chanting and praying and all that isn't always 100%. So you still gotta go to the Western doctor for aspirin or for antibiotic. Because, there's no guarantee that these ways is gonna help you. It's gonna help you more, show you the way to the right doctor, to the right medicine, and then will regulate you. And so when you move, and they shut there, you're learning more about things that you never knew when they existed. So go ahead. Any questions you want to ask me? So, some of these songs, you sit either kneeling or in the lotus, and then the energy is like really lower down in the stomach. So you want to have that mentality where you walk really low from the waist down. Like your gravity, like you're really, it's as though you own the earth. You're part of the earth. And then they give you that edginess to move, that agility, the bounce, to move. You want to keep that waist on the same level. Did I talk so much that I put you to sleep?